today on Divorce Court.
Me and Samone have been together 7 years. We love each other very much, but sometimes we just can't stand each other.
We have 2 beautiful children, a 4- and a 6-year-old, and I'm currently pregnant with our 3rd child, which is a concern for me, being that Darnell has a gambling addiction that has to stop, and it's causing problems in our current relationship.
Simone's always complaining about my gambling addiction, but she's just addicted to her cell phone as I am to gambling.
I would like the judge to tell Darnell that it's time for him to grow up and take responsibility for his actions.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Samone Tops and Darnell Brown. The two of you have been together for 7 years. You have 2 children together, and one on the way?
One on the way.
And one on the way. This, my paperwork reads as a dissolution of cohabitation. You have been together a long time. You did not get married, but you want to divide your property and go. But I'm not quite sure that's really what you want to do. Do you want to stay in this relationship?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Tell me what's going on.
Darnell and I met in 2009 in Chicago at my cousin's barbershop. I just got my rent-a-car and pulled up, and he was creep lurking, looking and peering into my window. So I was gonna hit the locks on him, because in the middle of Chicago, you can get robbed, people walking up on you and stuff. So he had a cute face, smile, charisma, so we started talking or whatever. Then when he found out I was there for my cousins, that was his opportunity to put his bid in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went out all the time, did everything together, made every single move, moved in together right away.
Like after 2 weeks, you moved in with him.
After 2 weeks, yeah.
Now,
yeah.
What did you know about him in those 2 weeks? I mean, he could have been a serial killer.
He could have. He still might be, but...
Well, she's...
But at that time, it was the charisma. We had so much chemistry and a lot of things in common.
That's the things. A lot of serial killers have... They said Ted Bundy was charming.
Yeah.
They said he was just the most charming dude.
I'm sure, right.
Right before he bopped you in the head.
Yeah. Well, I was bopped in the head.
When did the trouble start? When did
4
the trouble
months into
start?
the relationship.
What happened?
He brought someone to my house, said that he was going to like smoke and take them to work, and it was a female, and you know I have problems with any female being in my residence. And from that point on, it was just a constant battle of not being able to trust him with women.
Do you believe he's actually cheated on you?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
One day, I got into my vehicle, and there was a camera in my car. So I go through the camera, and he's like booed up, taking pictures with a female. And it wasn't in my car, it was a totally different car. But I don't know how the camera got in my car in the first place. Then he tells me it was a different female's camera than who was in the picture with him. So that's just too many situations going on. And none of his stories were adding up at that time. Of why he was with her, why he taking pictures, and how the camera got in my car for me to find out about it.
Have you cheated on her, Mr. Brown?
Not since we've been back together. Not this time around.
Now, when did you get back together?
8 months, February.
8 months ago?
February 28th of
So
February.
you've been cool for 8 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Brown. Do you have a trail of little ones hither and yon?
Somewhat. When I met...
Somewhat?
Yeah, when
how many little ones do you have that aren't with her?
3.
You have 3 children.
Yeah.
How many different mothers?
3.
And how many of those children did you have while you were with her?
1.
You just a busy boy.
Ain't he?
Yes.
Which equals a total of 6.
Do you care for those kids? Do you see them? Do you love them?
Well, they're all in different states at the moment, but most of...
You know, they got some mail. You can put some money in the mail.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
For all 6 kids. It's 6
I'm working on it. Well,
You have 6?
He has 6.
I recently...
I have number 4 and 5.
Before, I have 3. I had 3 with, you know, in during the time that we weren't together. But the 3 was before her, really.
3 were before me.
Right.
I have number 4 and 5.
And there's a 6th one?
Right, and I have 1.
Yeah.
Right, I have 1 without her. One.
Since you were together, you had 1 with somebody else.
Since we weren't
together.
Because we just got back together in February. So.
Oh, I see.
So during that time.
Mr. Brown, you know, usually I'm tired today, so I can't yell at you.
Yes, ma'am.
But don't you see that you have an obligation not to impregnate women and move on, because you leave in your wake a whole slew of people who are probably going to live in poverty because they don't have any economic support. Don't you see that?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that when I saw that beautiful face right there. She wasn't thinking about it either when she let me leave the person I was with for her.
Contraception.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I haven't had any children since, well, now she's pregnant, but I haven't had any children. And really, this is her fault that she's even pregnant.
It's my fault?
Yeah, it's her fault because
okay.
she don't know how to slow down.
But Mr. Brown, I want you to take that seriously.
I do.
I'm asking you
I
to
do,
do
and
that.
I do, Your Honor. I do take it seriously. At the time that I was, fooling around and messing with a whole lot of women, I was immature. I really wasn't thinking about the consequences and the repercussions of the later on.
Right.
So, it's kicking in now,
Yeah. And it's never too late to become a father to your children.
Yes, ma'am.
You may not be able to support them all, but show some interest. It'll make a difference in who they are and what they think and how they feel. And if any of them are little girls, if they have a father who loves them, they're not going to go off with the first idiot that tells them something good. You could stand in between them and some ridiculous character that's going to do something horrible to them. You that man. You Superman.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now that you've left the women alone, I understand you've picked up a whole new habit altogether that concerns Miss Tops, and I believe it has to do with gambling.
A couple months ago, our gas was cut off because he didn't give me the money that I needed to make the payment. I made payment arrangement. This is how much you would need this week. This is how much I need the next time you get paid. He took his money to the casino.
Doesn't it just make your knees weak that your woman and your kids are in a house with no gas? Ms. Tops, you say that now that he's left the women alone, he's picked up a new habit, and that habit is gambling. Tell me about that.
I believe that he has a gambling addiction, and I know addiction is a strong word. However, anytime he has more than $50 to $100 in his pocket, he goes to the casino, and he would spend his last dollar at the casino.
Mr. Brown, would you care to respond?
I'm used to fast money. So I try to chase fast as money as positively as I can. I don't want to do anything illegal.
But at the casino, it almost always outruns you. You know what I mean? The casinos make money for a reason because typically the house wins.
Yes, ma'am. But, me coming from Chicago, coming to, Las Vegas, I didn't really know that it was going to be kind of different. Because, when I was in Chicago before I came, I go to the casino a lot, often. And I win most of the time. Coming out here, it's different, living in Las Vegas is totally
Are you
different.
up or you down?
Now
Long term?
I'm down
You
about
down.
6,000.
Super down.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is the house always has odds in its favor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't afford that habit. You've got a woman, 2 children, and some
6
others
children.
out, 6 kids that could use use some food.
Thank you.
Are you prepared to stop that?
Well, we've been talking, and she's already left me once for the issue since I've been here. More than once, actually.
Right, twice. I can't take him seriously because
He
he's
can't
gambled.
take his eyes off of you. Do you see him over there?
Because that's infatuation, though. That's not love, because love will make you be more responsible for your family. You won't take your rent money and gamble that away. You won't take a blessing and throw that away if someone gives it to you.
And I admit, I do wrong. I mess up sometimes, But she know one thing I don't want to do is, cause harm to where we getting to the point where we're on the verge of right here.
You're here. Yeah, you're here. She's sick of it. She's tired.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? She loves you.
But he's hurting our family.
But she's tired. She feels insecure because you're not handling your business like a man.
Yeah.
You're handling your business like a little boy who gets happy and has habits, and you play. First you were playing with women, now you're playing with money,
yes,
but you've
ma'am.
never taken care of the house, and she's scared.
Right.
He's impulsive. I'm indecisive. But the impulsive behavior is what jeopardizes our relationship.
Yeah.
And
how much damage has it caused? I mean, what has happened in the household financially as a function of his failure to bring home his money?
For one, a couple months ago, our gas was cut off because he didn't give me the money that I needed to make the payment. And I told him 3 or 4 times, I made payment and arrangement. This is how much we need this week. This is how much I need the next time you get paid. He took his money to the casino.
Well, she know the reason. The only reason most of the times that I go to the casino is when my checks are short. Sometimes I try to go flip them so I can have
Big,
extra money.
short, small, a dollar.
Doesn't it just
don't
make
matter.
your knees weak that your woman and your kids are in a house with no gas?
It do. It do.
I would fold in on myself if I was that faulty and that inconsiderate and that much of a failure.
Well, sometimes I be caught up in my ways, Jana. You know, sometimes my mindset, and it don't help.
That's being self-centered.
It doesn't help when she's not really being supportive. Like,
I can't support that.
Look, we've been fussing at you all the time, so why don't you tell me in what ways is she not supportive?
You know, like as far as the financial issues, like, you know, I expect she tell me a lot that, you know, I'm not gonna count your money for you. I'm not gonna be your mother. I'm not gonna do this. I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to say this or say this to you in order for you to make her.
So what you're saying is she's not supervising you appropriately.
And that's what I be wanting her to
Right.
do. And she don't feel like she should, but I feel like as her being as my woman, you know.
You need supervision. That is
and
clear.
I'm
He
bad.
does.
I'm
You
bad.
need supervision.
And being so bad
He
with
does.
the money, you know.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk about supervision.
I know how she is when she's intoxicated. She'll be acting like one of the guys.
Yeah, I'ma
now, you
drink
know how
beer,
guys are,
I'ma
right? You know
sit
how
with my
guys
legs open
are
with you.
obnoxious. You know,
Right,
they talk
loud.
about females, their bottoms, their tops.
Pull some females
You
for
know.
some of my
And
friends.
she gets like that?
Yeah.
She gets just like that.
Is she talking about women or men?
Both.
Now, I've been leaning on you the whole time, Mr. Brown, and you took it very well. I want to talk about some concerns you have with Ms. Tops. You say that she spends a great deal of time partying with her male friends. Why don't you tell me about that and why it causes you concern?
Okay, for instance, when I first got here, you know, she was out here a year before I got here.
Right.
She been here a year before. So she already have acquaintances and know people. And she also have a best friend. She have a best friend, but the best friend that she has is her ex-cousin. So
How does one become an ex-cousin?
no, her
my
ex-boyfriend's
ex-boyfriend's
cousin.
Oh, her ex's cousin. I
Right.
ruined
Her ex-boy.
a whole new procedure I didn't know anything about.
Right, her ex-boyfriend cousin is her best friend.
Right.
You know, and I kind of have an issue with it because, you know, I kind of feel like the guy has a thing for her. You know.
Do you believe that she's trustworthy and faithful, or have you found things that
mean-
cause you concern?
She don't answer her phone when she's around these people, so that kind of caused me
To wonder what is going on.
To wonder what's
Ms.
going on.
Tops, is there anything going on?
No, absolutely not. And some of the reasons why I don't answer my phone, because he'll call me an hour after I leave out the house. And I just feel like you're putting me on a curfew or checking up on me. You could text me and ask me, and I will answer you.
But it don't.
But
it
when he
doesn't even
leaves
be-
the house, I don't bother him. He doesn't come home at 6:30 in the morning and says he's at the casino. I don't question that. So why are you questioning someone who's been in my life way longer than he has?
Right,
And
right,
never have shown anything.
And
Let
that's
me
the-
ask you this, Ms. Tops. You also have some concerns about the manner in which he speaks to you,
Yes.
and how you two deal with conflict. Explain that to me.
We bump heads a lot when we're mad at each other, and the confrontation that it causes, the friction that it causes, is sometimes unbearable. Me and him may argue at the casino. He may tell me to get out his face or move around because he doesn't want to be bothered while he's gambling. And then he'll change his mind and be like, well, come sit with me so you can help me make this money back. It's like, choose one or the other. Or if I go out with my friend, he wants to argue about how long I've been gone, but I don't question you when you don't come home. You know, it's just like tit for tat.
Right.
Or he doesn't have to explain his situation, and all of mine has to be explained.
Has to be explained.
Right.
You have an obligation to inform.
He wants to control
can live
Samone.
freely. Mr.
Right.
Brown, what is your response to that? Do you think that's true?
No, it's not true. And she know I'm far from being insecure. It's really not more or less of being insecure. It's that I know my woman, even when I'm in a relationship with her and I'm not in a relationship with her. And I know how she is when she's intoxicated. And I don't like having the thought of her being intoxicated around
How
another
is
male.
she when she's intoxicated?
She's like another.
Flirtatious?
She's just another guy. She's another.
dude?
She's a guy. When she's intoxicated, she turns into a guy. But that guy is like I don't know how to express it. It's like a girl guy. She's like a girl guy. It's like she talked to
Now
guys.
you're gonna have to help me with that.
I don't understand. I don't understand it. She's like, you see how she look, right? You
Yeah, I know.
Now if she put a tomboy charisma on, right? She's still
He doesn't like that,
attractive,
yeah.
but she'll put a tomboy charisma on, but she'll still be attractive, but she'll be acting like one of the guys.
Yeah, but I'm
now, you know
drink
how
beer,
guys are,
I'ma
right? You know how
sit with my
guys
legs open
are
with you.
obnoxious. You know, they
Right,
talk
loud.
about females, their bottoms, their
I'm gonna
tops.
pull some females
You
for
know.
some of my
And
friends.
she gets like that?
Yeah.
She gets just like that.
Is she talking about women or men?
Both. Now she don't have any woman
Yeah.
on woman tendencies, but it's just that she's too
Right.
comfortable. You know, sometimes I feel like she's too outside the box
With it,
because
and
it's her best friend and I'm her
it's
man.
invitational
Right.
because it's over the top. That is your concern.
And I'm her man, even though she's known this guy long as she knows me.
I
It's
got
still-
you.
The respect level was supposed to have been tenfold.
I got
you know,
you.
because she slays in the bed with me, but you know,
Yeah.
for some reason she feels as if she makes me feel like her male friend is more important than I am, and I don't like that.
I got you. I'm gonna explain all that to you. If you want to save this union, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. You need to control your fertility. You do not need any more children.
Yeah.
You know, if he does the right thing by his other children, he's always going to be tight with money. Even if he doesn't do the right thing by all of his children, some of his baby's mama might turn around and make him do the right thing by all of his children. And not only that, that doesn't leave you in a position where if he acts a fool, you have so many kids to take care of, it's going to be harder to go. If you want to have more kids with him, wait till he acts right for long term and then talk about it then. But always understand the economics of the children that you have, the man that you have, and the kids that he's got out there, okay? I'm gonna say that to you. Mr. Brown, I think you have the potential to be a better man than you are, but you gotta be grown about it. You can't have your woman supervising you all the time. You have to supervise you. You have to have a set of rules that you abide by no matter what. You have to have a conscience about what you do. You have to have a sense of your family that you are the man. You are the person who defends them, who takes care of them, who enables them to be comfortable and secure. The reason she's always talking to her male friend is because he's consistent. He's there. She can count on him. You, not so much. And women need that. They need that security that they know they can lean back and that guy is right behind them, economically, emotionally, all the way. You got to be that guy. And you have to make a decision to be that guy. Am I gonna be a problem? Am I gonna be a person who helps decimate our community? Or am I gonna be a man who handles his family, holds them up, and keeps them safe? That's your decision.
Yes, ma'am.
Make it soon, make it well, because this woman is so fine.
Thank you.
She can go anywhere she wants to. You see what I'm telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you can travel. We get all of that. But good women who are like that are worth their weight in gold. And after a while, she's going to get sick of it if you don't get straight. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
This matter's adjourned.
The judge had a lot of advice for Darnell, but in my eyes, it's 50-50 chance that he takes heed to the information given to help our family get back on track.
I think I'm going to take the advice instead of losing my family. I think I need to grow up and be a better man for my children.